All right, good morning.
Good morning.
What's up, Wayne? What's up, Rich? How are you?
Not much.
We
good.
got, one more gentleman will be joining us in a few minutes by the name of Steve Craig.
Steve Craig.
The,
Hey,
yeah.
heat
Yeah.
waves broke.
Yeah.
A little cooler today.
Didn't feel like it.
Yeah,
bit,
I
huh?
don't know. It felt a little better
When
outside.
the sun comes out, it'll probably get rid of the mugginess.
Yeah. But it's supposed to be low to middle 80s today.
It rained last night, though. Did you see it? Holy
Yeah.
crap, like buckets.
I heard it.
It's our bedroom's in the basement,
Yeah.
so it's like it's hard to really hear anything.
Yeah.
I saw the flashes though.
Oh my God, it was raining.
It's
I
like,
looked
I'm gonna
outside.
sleep
It was
now.
like fire hoses. It was huge. Oh,
Yeah. That's good.
we got some
We,
rain.
we need the rain. We had a pretty dry year this year, right?
For a couple hours
Yeah.
too. It wasn't a short shower.
Really dry year.
So on the screen, you see right now the logo for Strain Family Motors, who is one of our marquee sponsors and supporters here at SNSN. If you're looking for a used car, rent a Polaris Slingshot with the Polaris Adventures. Get your car
Yeah,
detailed.
to get my wife in one of those. Just drive her around like a maniac. She won't like that. She doesn't like the way I drive to begin with. She holds on to that handle on the door, like, you know.
They are your local auto super center. Anyway, check them.
Yeah.
Check them out. Strain Family Motors.
Yeah, I had my truck detailed there too. Good job.
See, look at you go. Well, I didn't want to do that. Okay.
So, public
sir.
announcement.
Uh-oh.
Today is food drive day
Oh, okay.
at the Public Works today. Since it's not going to be really that hot, it's going to happen at the Public Works, which is the town garage for those who don't know. But yeah,
Yep.
about 4:00.
Up on 138.
Yeah, 1:38.
So, yeah,
I'll be the traffic guy.
you'll be the traffic.
Yell at me if I'm doing a bad job. I don't have a problem
Stacking
with it.
Or just
Stack 'em,
yell at
rack
him
'em.
anyway.
Stack them and rack them.
Hmm?
You can just yell at him anyway. It's really no big deal. So, how was your evening with the weather last night? Huh? Wasn't that great?
It was.
Super duper.
Yeah, it started to rain a little bit after our meeting last night.
Yeah.
And it stopped, and then it came back in buckets.
There he is.
I'm glad we weren't standing out in the buckets, put it that way.
Come on in, Steve. Pull up a chair.
Would have got wet real quick. Hey, what's happening?
So, Rich also had his first Economic Development Commission meeting last night
I thought you were going to say he had his first
as a
girlfriend.
member.
You want to move over so that way.
Cumberland Farms, see that? Good stuff there.
You guys are killing me. Really. So keep going.
That's better than
Cumberland Farms, great.
It's awesome.
How much was that coffee?
$1.29. Went up.
It went up.
Is it
$1.89.
It was $1.29.
Oh my word! What's Bidenomics coming to? Who knows?
$4.
$12.
$4.
$4? No,
Yeah. That's about that.
3 and change.
yeah, it's 3 and change, but it's not. This is 360 or something like that. That's like about 330 something, I think. But still,
407 in the
$1.
Dunkin' version.
These coffees are $1 more than they were 3 years ago.
Yeah. They were 99 cents.
You talking about Cumberland's?
Yeah.
Well, Cumberland,
Cumberland was 99 cents for the
Even
longest.
Dunkin's, my size coffee was just about $2.90, I think, something like that, $2.80 for three years ago.
Thanks, Polino, for the well wishes on the new announcement that we made here yesterday. There was a press release that went out yesterday concerning us and the Eastern Connecticut Conference that SNSN will be doing the game of the week with the ECC. So
Nice.
it's pretty exciting stuff,
This is football.
huh?
This is football.
The whole year.
The whole
This
year?
is not just football.
Football, basketball,
baseball,
baseball,
softball.
softball.
We're gonna do other
lacrosse.
sports, too.
You're gonna do lacrosse too, maybe.
It depends on what they're gonna. We're gonna do more than one thing a week,
Okay,
but so that way,
nice.
Let me adjust here. My seat, that is. guy says that, and it's like, whoa, wait a minute,
Adjust,
hold on a minute. You're doing that right here, right now.
Yeah, right there. Well, they
Yeah.
can't see you below the waist anyway. So.
Not yet.
He's got the undermount cameras.
Yeah, they can't see your underwear, Mike. I wish you'd wear pants to work.
Underwear?
Who's wearing that? Did you? You didn't wear it, no? Did you?
It'll be like the Anchorman.
Commando.
Stay classy, Twin City.
Go Commando.
Come in. So we're going to be doing the ECC Game of the Week, which will be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to that. And
Okay.
yeah, so it's way cool, way cool. So anyway, Steve Craig, welcome back to the show, man.
Happy to be back.
And
Getting
We're
out
gonna-
of bed this morning was another story. I was like, oh, this is going to be great. And then I was like, I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
I couldn't get out of. Do you guys have a problem getting out of bed? Because I sure as hell didn't want to get up today.
I didn't want to get up.
No.
I woke up at 3:45, and I was awake all that time. And then, of course, when I have to get up,
You want to go back
be
to
ready
sleep?
That's
come
when you wanna
here,
go back
and
to
then
sleep,
I
yeah.
just want to sleep.
Yeah, I don't know, Rich. Being
Should've
retired
stayed
really wears me out. It really does. It's hard to really get up in the morning.
Yeah, well, I'll give you a couple of my cats if you like, because they're still on the work schedule.
Cats don't work for
Like
me.
4:30 in the morning, they want their treats. Believe me, you got to get up, or you're not gonna sleep.
Nope.
I just want to reiterate something I put on Facebook last night, just because it just kind of gets me into the frame of mind what I really want to talk about today. And I don't know if it says learn. I put this: learn this as fast as you can. Your creditors don't give a f about your feelings.
True that.
Pretty much.
You owe, you pay. Simple.
Bro, you don't even know. You don't even know, bro. So,
I love when the creditors apologize. But they're apologizing for how you feel. I apologize that you feel that way. I said, that's not an apology. Yes, I just said I'm sorry for how you feel. No, it's like, they take no responsibility whatsoever.
Why don't you apologize for dialing my number? That might be something a little bit better. So anyway, Steve here is from Class 101. We've had Steve on the show before. And
I couldn't tell that.
yeah, look at that. Like, he's ready to go.
Shameless promotion on my shirt. Yeah.
That's okay.
It's great for summer. I mean, a 3/4 length, baseball shirt. Come on.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
happens to have my company logo on it.
What is Class 101? We've talked about it before, but
Yeah.
tell us what before we get into like ripping the town up.
It's going to be that kind of morning then.
Let's start on a positive topic first.
Oh.
And just because we're getting into that part of the year, this is why another reason why I invited Steve back on.
Just taxes being due.
Oh,
I'm
no.
sorry. I don't know what we're ripping the town up about yet.
That's already taxes increased.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nah, kids going back to school and
Yeah,
college.
and you've got some very important stuff to talk about.
Yeah,
so.
it is back. Well, we're approaching our back to school campaign for most of the country. It's coming pretty quickly because around the rest of the country, the kids got out in May and they're getting ready to go back early August, mid-August, and our kids are just basically they just had 4th of July. They just got out of school a few weeks ago. They don't want to talk about anything academic right now, but the reality is
But it'll happen on August 24th, right?
what's that?
Mom, I got a stomach ache. Ma, I don't feel so good.
Oh my
Ma,
gosh.
I think I got a fever. Ma, I got strep. Well, you didn't have all this stuff when you eat 18 bags of Doritos the other night,
That's
now, did you?
right.
Yeah.
For our students at this point, it's even we're talking about grades 9 through our 12th graders are what we call our rising seniors, getting ready to go into their senior year. This really is it's a great time to take advantage of opportunities to visit colleges. One of the things I was on an interview last week with my business coach Gina Johnson with her VIP coaching, and she said, "What's one really strong tip that you have for students for college visits?" And one of the things that we talked about was if you've got family travel already planned, so you're going to be in a certain part of the country, and some of the colleges or universities you're looking at are in those areas, even though it's not as busy a time with kids on campus. There's still people taking summer courses and things like that. The universities are happy enough to accommodate prospective students and give them formal and informal tours, and so there's so many things that kids can be doing at this point. And the Common App opens the 1st of August, so we're going to be working on essay writing boot camps, and the colleagues across the country, they've already finished up. They got kids who have written thousands of words for college supplemental essays already. So I'm just kind of easing into that stuff in the end of July, because our season is a little different here. So hitting kids up, right in the beginning of July and say, hey, let's do some writing. I try to save that, towards the end of the month for
and you being an educator
seniors.
yourself, like, yeah, let's go.
Hey, I'm already tired right now of seeing the back to school stuff. Like, kids were on out of school and they had back to school stuff. And as when I was still teaching, I was like, can you just give us a little bit of summer?
No,
just a little.
It's just like the holidays. They start Christmas October now.
Seasonal creep.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Give us a break. Can we just enjoy Halloween and Thanksgiving first?
Yeah. Well, that's kind of where I've been coming from, is letting the kids really kind of especially in the Northeast. Okay, get through 4th of July, do a little travel with the family. Summer camps are in full swing, and I have camps myself for grade 8 students transitioning to high school, and like I said, the essay writing, which is going to be pretty critical. And here we go. And then it's back to school season and senior week and everything else. So it's still, it doesn't seem like it would be a busy time for a college planning company, but we're keeping very, very busy and always looking for.
So what is it what you meet with mom and dad college a lot, and what do you do?
We're doing the entire timeline with families.
What do you do? When they say, what can you do for little Marcy here?
Oh, where do you want to start? So I was mentioning the essay writing. That's just one of 10 services. But really what it comes down to is meeting with a family, kind of determining their needs, the students' aspirations for college, what kind of school do they want to go to. So we start with taking a look at really, what do you know about college? What do you know about what college costs? What have you already thought about? So we really start that investigation process early on. First thing is, a college list that we establish with the students. And then once we get that going, we get the entire college planning timeline together. So test prep, digital SAT, ACT, resume writing, FAFSA, which is going to be
a bitch.
Usually October, we're all like, okay, it's supposed to be October. It's going to come out. Everything's going to be fine. That's been an issue for our families and for us as college planners. Getting people through that process. Yep. Merit scholarship applications, local scholarship applications. We're investigating all those things. I'm really working as a one-to-one academic counselor for the students. I'm taking a look at their 4-year high school plans. Their grades, working on improving their grades. So there's, any number of things I'm doing all the way up to the point that the students get to decision time. They've submitted their Common App or their other applications. They've been admitted to 3 or 4 schools, and then it's decision day. And then I help them manage their academic portals. So once they are in the enrollment process, so really pretty much take them right up to the door.
So really soup to nuts. I mean,
you're
there, holding their hand,
the
pretty
whole
much
thing.
Bringing them right up until mom and dad drops them off, or
I help them carry their dorm furniture up. And,
I never saw you there when I was carrying my kids.
I tell you, if you sign up with Class 101 today, you get a free furniture mover.
That's it.
Free furniture moving with every Class 101 enrollment.
That is not actually in the contract to the best of my knowledge, but one of the things that, and I joke about it, but we really do end up forming pretty close relationships with families. And, we'd like to think that we're, trusted professionals going forward. And, I know I have colleagues who hear back from students who've moved on to college, and they check back in with their college planners on a regular basis. And sometimes we have the siblings come through as well. So a lot of fun. I love working with teenagers, and I taught for 30 years, English and social studies. And people are like, what qualifies you to do this essay writing? I said, 30 years as an English and composition teacher.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Because a lot of people don't know, with the college planners, where do you come from? Before you were doing this, what'd you do?
Selling
were you a
cars or
lawyer?
something,
Like,
right?
what were you? Exactly.
Yeah.
But, I do
I was
have background in
custodian.
education. What's that?
As a custodian.
I was a school custodian.
Paid the
It's
bills,
true.
right?
That's where I started.
Really? I was just joking
When I was
around.
like 14 years old, Mike. No kidding. Like,
Are you
from
serious?
The
Really?
summer of 8th grade.
Oh, that's right. They
into
had
the
that program.
custodian's helper. I did that all the way through high school.
Yeah.
So you want to talk
Gotcha.
about starting right at the entry level in a school
I
system. I
forgot
did it.
about that. Were you with Mr. Jodwin or Mr. Saint Germain?
Mr. Saint Germain,
Oh,
who
my
was
God.
also our Babe Ruth League coach, if you remember, on the Pirates.
Yes.
I can't believe we were on the Pirates. And we were both. I believe we were both Red Sox fans, and we were on the Pirates, and that was a little tough to take.
Did you ever hear the story about how we terrorized him one summer?
At the school, or
No.
or
It was me, Danny Gallant,
yeah. Oh,
and Scott Perry.
surprise! Oh,
So, and they would sleep over a lot, especially on the weekends.
oh my God!
Sometimes on school nights, it didn't matter.
The three of you, yeah, that's true. Looking back on it, I can terrorize is probably a pretty accurate word.
Well, we would just talk about him. It's like, oh, I wonder what Saint Germain does. We had no idea. We're like 14 years old, 15 years old. And the cool thing is they didn't have caller ID.
Yeah, right.
Right. So,
Oh no, it turned into a jerky boy situation.
kinda. Yeah. So we would call.
Hey, Sizzle
Oh,
Chest.
Well, no, he'd answer in the morning. We call it like 1:30 in the morning.
Oh, he probably wasn't really happy about that. He got up fairly
Hello?
early, as I recall.
Hey, Raj! And we'd hang up.
Were
We
you
did
on
that
the team at that point when he was
Yes,
our coach?
yes.
Oh, you were doing that to him when he was our coach?
3 years. We did that right up until we graduated.
I didn't know you guys
It
were
was
doing
hey Raj, and then we stopped for a little bit, maybe a few months. It wasn't every
Give
day
him a
or
little
like
break,
that.
you know?
Yeah, but
Let him
maybe
catch up on some
6
sleep.
months exactly. Yeah, and then all of a sudden,
Can I
next
go
thing
to bed tonight and sleep for the night, right?
Oh,
Bang, here it is.
you're right. It was funny because Scott would do the voice. Perry,
Oh,
he'd do the hey Raj.
he was probably sitting, trying to figure out who you guys were, and little did he know you were the pitcher on his team.
So
I didn't even know you guys were doing that to him.
Oh yeah. So anyway,
I would think he probably had his suspicions.
Poor Roger.
no, he didn't, and I'll tell you why. So anyway, we're just about ready.
When they
It's about right
graduated.
prime that you're
We're about ready to
now.
graduate, and the next thing we do, Scott calls him. He answers. He goes, "Hello," and Scott didn't say anything. Hello, Scott said, and all of a sudden, oh no, that's right. Hey, Raj.
Like if you did that today,
So, let me
our
just-
time period, like what would they call?
You
that?
can't.
Back then it was
You
called
can't.
You
prank
can't.
calling
Can't.
back then, and
can
now
track
you're
you
like
back.
they got caller ID, like who
I know.
called you now. Or back then, you
So
you turn on a cell phone, you can do star 67 and block your number.
Yeah.
True.
The day the day we were practicing graduation, the first day.
Yeah.
So we are walking in the school, it's me, Danny, and Scott. And we said to each other, we got to let him off the hook. We got to let him know. Maybe, hopefully, he'll.
Just walk up behind him and go, hey, Raj.
Oh no,
Well, maybe he'll go ahead and, oh, you guys, right?
you got me.
So he's swabbing the deck in front of the old principal's office, right? And we're walking towards him. And we went, hey, Mr. St. Germain, we want to thank you for everything. And we just want to tell you one thing. And Scott goes, hey, Raj, you son of a bitch. He ran after us with his mop.
That's hilarious.
Never
I
talk
can
to him
actually
again.
See that. I can see that.
He looked
On
like a
my mind.
frog.
We used to just pick names out of the phone book. We just open up the phone book and point, and that's who got called.
Yeah.
Remember he had his motorcycle?
He looked like a
There was-
frog.
Yeah, he looked like a frog when he was on.
Froggy Germain.
Yep.
Yeah, but anyway, that was that. So.
Wow.
So that's very, very cool. I mean, I hope you people realize what a wonderful service that is, and it takes a lot off the parents' plate.
What, annoying
when you could do
annoying your teachers and
No,
stuff?
no.
Oh, that's who.
What Steve
Or
does
Class
with
101. So I'm just got to ask you something, because back when I went through school, when we were, he's using chisels to write our essays and stuff like that in the rocks. Um, we had a lot of those services stuff like that through our guidance counselors. Don't they do that also today too?
The problem today, and this is a statistic that we just had come through, and we're actually publishing this on our web pages and Facebook. The average caseload of a school counselor in this country is 482 to 1. And one of the things I talked about with Mike is that I worked very closely with school social workers and counselors because I was an alternative ed teacher. I worked with at-risk kids. And I can tell you what I saw before COVID was a very overwhelmed school counseling staff where they were doing so much reactive and responsive counseling. Even if you wanted to meet with that junior for 30 minutes and you had plans and you scheduled that kid, we're going to go over some college planning or whatever, they often had to forego that. So really the amount of time that the average kid gets over 4 years with their school counselor regarding college planning and things of that sort is probably about less. I think they said it was less than 16 minutes over 4 years of time committed to specifically to college planning. And I think, I'm hearing also from parents who have had a lot of their kids go through college that they found it to be such a time consuming thing now that they almost I wish you were around or this kind of service was around four girls ago. It can be, for
especially if it was 4 girls ago, that means that's their 5th freaking kid.
Yeah.
And
I mean, they got a household with a husband and a wife who are working. And
if you got 5 kids going to college, you got it.
And a kid, that too. And then the actual time that's necessary to, follow up on all those things.
Okay.
So that's kind of one of the most important things. And then there's also the piece of helping families get the scholarships. Was it 500 million? I think it was that they did across. No, how much was it?
what are we talking about? How much that Class 101 is procured for?
Class 101's already done over 1.1 billion, 1.2 billion across the network in since its inception in scholarships for helping students earn those. But the average was 200,000 per student across our network this year for our seniors, class of 2024. Mm-hmm. The average scholarship was 200,000 per student that we helped the students earn, and the students earn that. We didn't do that for them. We
showed them how to go get it.
We gave them the tools to do that, and we also knew what the schools all require for merit scholarships, especially when there's ACT. It's, we're not talking about testing, testing optional schools. We're talking about competitive schools. So we know what they need to get to be able to be eligible for those scholarships, and so
which is good. 200,000 just about pay for most colleges, 4 years, right?
Depending on the college, yeah.
Depending on the college,
for $81,000.
I'm not talking Yale or Harvard.
Right.
I'm just talking about even maybe Eastern or something like that.
And places like that. Right?
UConn, I think, is up to about 45,000 a year now, something like that. Somebody
with
told
the
me.
Residency and the meals.
Yeah. So
it's
wow.
Yeah, that's one of the big points that I've been trying to establish with families, because when they think about spending the money for something like what I do and the packages that we do, there's always that like, well, I'm really trying to save money for college. I don't want to give it to this guy. But, when we stop and take a look at, the work that we do around scholarships, it really should pay for itself and then some if we do a good job and the students really put in that work.
Well, that's the thing. They've got to do their due diligence.
Right. They're being empowered to do it, but it's also, something as a unit, myself, the parents and the student, really keeping them on track. Communication is very critical. Sharing my meeting notes with the parents so they know, what's going on and what the plan is and where they are on their timeline. So, can't do it by myself. It takes the village. So, but yeah, that's what I do. Thanks for the time on it. I appreciate it.
No problem. We're going to take
a little long on that explanation. Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. That's all right. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to show you some announcements of some of our very, very favorite people. And I'll be back in a minute, and we'll talk about something that's not very favorite to me. Right here on SNSN. Has arrived. They're your local auto super center. Put some excitement in your day and rent a Polaris Slingshot from Strain Family Motors, adjacent to the Green Onion Restaurant on River Road. Check out Strain Family Motors Super Center on Facebook as well as strainfamilymotors.com for everything sales, service, and excitement. River Road, Lisbon, Strain Family Motors, your local auto super center.
Better it burns. Much better. So much better it burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better it burns. You buy better it burns. You buy better.
The Burns Agency is a full-service organization with insurance products ranging from business owner policy needs to personal insurance like home, auto, and umbrella. Some companies can make that a one-stop shop. That's why we value partnering with insurance companies like Arbella Insurance. Like us, they offer a range of insurance coverage for our valued clients. Having your most valuable assets covered by a single insurance carrier, serviced by a local agent, is priceless. The Burns Agency proudly partners with Arbella to bring you insurance coverage at competitive pricing. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Better it burns. Much better. So much better it burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better it burns. You buy better it burns. You buy better.
City Savings Bank's commitment to helping local businesses fuel growth was recognized by the Small Business Administration and readers of the Commercial Record. We invite you to put our winning commercial lending team to work for your business. Because when local businesses succeed, we all win. To learn more, visit jcsbank.com. Jewett City Savings Bank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Dentist. In a word, yes. Especially if that dentist is Dr. Katzoff and the staff at Griswold Dental Associates. They follow all the latest safety protocols while doing what they do best, taking care of you. From preventive to restorative, your dental care couldn't be in better hands. To schedule your appointment, call Griswold Dental Associates today, 860-376-2626. That's 860-376-2626.
Why are we getting killed like this?
Kyle's not here. Got caught drinking beer in the park a couple of nights ago.
Really?
Yeah, 0 tolerance. He's out for the season.
Harsh.
Hey, he knew not to drink. We've made that clear to all of our kids, right?
No, not really.
Bill, if we don't tell them what we expect and why they shouldn't drink, how are they going to know?
Talk. They hear you. For more information, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Hit it.
And welcome back. That was perfect timing. Hit it. Welcome back, everybody. Hope that each and every one of you will patronize our sponsors that we have here on the show, because they are the ones that make it possible for us to go ahead and do the things that we do. As I show a picture of the Wicked Witch of the West on the screen. That's what we do here at SNSN. Uh-oh. So anyway, as far as our sponsors are concerned, we certainly appreciate them. Burns Agency, Griswold Pride that you just heard from. Of course, it's a Strain Family Motors. How about Dean's Corner Diner? They are one of our big time sponsors, Dean's Corner, and of course, Rubino's Full Circle up on Route 130. I say Route?
Ice cream.
Route 138 or
ice cream.
Rubino's Full Scoop. And the nice thing about Rubino's Full Scoop, it's a truck.
Like a food truck.
Yeah, and you don't need financing to buy their ice cream. So, which is really nice to know.
Is there someone around here that you would
There could
have
be.
to have
There could be.
mortgage out on ice?
Yeah.
There's one around. I mean, it's good ice cream, but you do pay.
You do pay.
P7 Construction, LLC. Check them out on Facebook, P7 Construction. And Capital Property Group, which is actually right here in the building that we are in.
Walked right by it on the way in.
Yeah. For anything real estate, condo associations, property management, everything, Capital Property Group, LLC. Check them out Also on Facebook, or you can find them at capitalpropertygroup.com. So I'll show you. Am I forgetting anybody? No. I think I got everybody. Yes. There's the Wicked Witch of the West again. Ah!
That was a message from the FCC. Oh. You brought that Steve Craig guy back after last time?
Steve effing Craig. That's it.
That's right. The
him.
fines are on their way.
They don't. You know what? They don't bother anybody hardly
Probably
anymore.
not.
No.
Especially with internet stuff.
I mean, when you can
it's
do
like,
full frontal on NBC now after 10 p.m., you know, it's
I listen to watch podcasts like the stuff that Julian Edelman does, and like the athletes are hilarious. The Kelsey brothers, theirs was great.
Yeah.
They're taking a little break from it because obviously Travis is back to the field, but that one's entertaining. I get a kick out of that stuff. But anything in Barstool's, forget it.
Barstool.
You never know what
Bleacher Report.
You don't know what you're going to hear on there.
Yeah. Or Pat McAfee.
McAfee's hilarious.
Crazy.
Hilarious.
So, Steve, I want to ask you something.
Okay.
This is
not a loaded question, of course.
Huh?
Not a loaded question.
No, not at all. So, I want to just give you a little scenario of something that's going on through town here. And as a former resident, but you're kind of still a resident, of Griswold, Jewett City.
I think my parents are still here in town. Tax-paying citizens.
That's right, the homeowners. Yep.
Exactly.
So here we go. This is what I want to go ahead and present to you.
Okay.
So 8 years ago, let's say you knew about this company that had all these champagne wishes and caviar dreams. They bought some land, and they're going to go ahead and they're going to develop it and put in a memory care facility like for Alzheimer's patients.
Right. Very important service.
Yeah. Assisted living facility. Let's see, retail organizations, and just a whole little village they're going to put up.
Sounds impressive.
So, am I missing anything about what the original proposal was? Not originul. That's not the original. No. Okay. So there's that, right? Mm-hmm. Then all of a sudden it's like, okay, we're gonna keep looking. We're gonna keep doing. We bought the land. Let's see what we can do. Ooh, by the way, so years go by. And they come up and they go, yeah, so maybe you guys could help us get a grant because we don't have any money. Can you get us a grant, Town of Griswold? You guys go do it. We'll use it, and we won't pay taxes because we want an abatement.
Well, you got to understand.
I know that's a little.
No. Why they got the grant? Why they had the town get the grant? Because the town's nonprofit, and they're for profit. So some of them grants are only for nonprofits.
But still, they don't have any money.
Yeah.
So the word that comes to mind, or the term that comes to mind for me when I hear this, just kind of
let me finish. Let me finish.
Oh, there's more.
There's more.
I think the term will stay the same in my head.
I'm sure.
So then there's okay. You know what? We're going to bring a YMCA to yeah. We're gonna bring a YMCA, right?
Which makes sense because we lost a YMCA.
Which doesn't make any sense for the town because they're not spending. They're not no taxes. Right. They're not paying anything.
They're also a nonprofit.
They're a nonprofit,
right?
Exactly. And it doesn't have a pool.
What's a YMCA?
There you go. Thank you very much, Steve. Spot on.
Maybe
maybe
someday you could have a pool.
Pretty much the sentiment.
If you get other towns to sign on and pay for it, you can get a pool.
So there's a theme is if someone else pays for it.
Yeah. And then, oh my God, if we do this, we need a tax abatement. So we can go ahead and do this with the money that you got us. So now, to give you an idea, this is just a condensed version of 8 years of bullshit. 8 years. Do you continue with them or do you tell them to go kick rocks? I'm not mentioning their name yet, but
so I just want to clarify something before I make any statement. It sounds like there's a for-profit and a non-profit aspect to this whole thing, or is it all non-profit?
No, I believe it's a combination of both.
Like the YMCA.
The YMCA is...
That would have been a non-profit situation. How are they involving in
They have nothing to do. They're just going to be...
Oh, in other words...
You're shaking your head. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's...
It would be on that land?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Pay zero taxes.
And also, it went from...
I think the only taxes on it would be the land portion. As far as any structures that go up with the YMCA name on it, there would be no taxes on that.
Right.
And there's affordable housing they've added.
Right. A lot of affordable housing.
And some of that is not going to be taxable.
So they're saying that even with that, they wanted property tax abatement or
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
with this.
That's what was talked about, the EDC, the Economic Development Commission last night.
So the term corporate welfare comes to mind for me. Like it's like we want to offer something, and we bought this land, and we have these big plans, but
I sat.
We want someone else to
sat
foot
in
the
the
bill
meetings
now.
that they've had with these developers, the Zoom meetings, and they've point blank been asked, and they straight up answered they do not have any money. That they haven't even gone after any money yet. And this is only a couple months ago now, mind you. And that they're not going after conventional funding. They want to get donations. They want to get philanthropic donations. They're not.
I want donations too, but guess what? They're not coming in.
Right. They're not going to the banks to get this money to develop and do what they want to do.
They actually bought this land.
Yes.
That's all they own. They've been tying the land up for 8 years.
That's all they own is the land.
8 years.
Mm-hmm.
Tying up the land for 8 years.
Yes.
Commercial, I'm assuming commercial land.
They're obviously paying their taxes on it. There's been foreclosed on, so
they would have to be paying at least that, right?
Right.
But they have no money
Nope.
to do any of the stuff that they anticipated doing 8 years ago.
Zero.
I'm still
a lot of it is they keep blaming on the fact that we haven't gotten the infrastructure done. Now the infrastructure is being done.
They still have no money,
and they're still doing nothing.
Now they're sweating it. Now they just put in for a SIF grant. Right, and they're looking to hear back in August, September. Well, you know how fast things move around.
They had the YMCA put in this grant, I believe, right?
I mean, I see this all over the country, and there was a sports franchise that at one point was going to use Connecticut as a bargaining chip to come here. I'm a fan of said organization,
right.
But what they did essentially was
use us to get a better deal somewhere else.
Get the infrastructure done in their state for their new stadium, and that made a lot of people angry because
was this a long time ago?
This was 2002. The stadium went up. They were able to.
Oh my God, that was
they were able to get the state of Massachusetts to do all that infrastructure up and down.
They're not the only organizations.
No, and they're not
trying to do it again. There's another corporation trying to do the same thing Gillette did for the Celtics.
And this is what's going on all over the place. This isn't new, but in this particular case, this whole situation is very strange because at least the owner of said franchise was putting his money up to build the stadium and the corresponding retail, complex and the hotels and everything that was going in there. Whereas this whole thing sounds so incredibly weird because they came in with these. What'd you call it? Champagne dreams, champagne and caviar.
Dreams.
Champagne wishes and caviar dreams.
Like,
and the lifestyles of the rich and better than you are.
You would think that when they buy this land and they're talking about what they're going to do, that they have some money behind them.
Nothing.
So, I mean, if I'm the town,
and they've talked about maybe putting in a couple of pad sites to attract maybe a bank,
maybe a small grocery store,
they were a little grocery store.
So we've been, and I've only been following this for maybe a year. These guys have been following it for longer than I have, but it seems to me they just throw some of these little things to hook you in, and then they're just going to do whatever they want.
They've got no commitments, no real commitments from anybody.
And the thing is, they own the land; they can do whatever they want. But,
that's right.
But why are we sticking our neck out even further and further? I mean, granted, this infrastructure is not going to be just for them. Right. There's a lot of other land along the way that usually we can get some other business stuff like that.
Right.
But we don't have all the resources in the world to be able to have people keep asking for tax abatements. No. We got screwed several years ago on some solar farms.
Yeah.
Because of some legislation the state wrote up that these guys were pretty smart when they put those solar farms up and took advantage of, and we're getting a dime from that.
Nothing.
One of the things that as a town, like you have a company, so to speak, that comes in like this. They're buying land. They tell the townspeople what they intend to do with this land, and it sounds like it's really going to be a great thing for the town economically, right? That it's going to either create jobs or create retail space or create, something that's going to also bring money into the town.
Right.
So you would think it'd be a mutually beneficial situation from the way it was described.
When it was first presented, that's the way it was described.
but now there's no money and they're looking
Now
for
the
every
number-
There
possible-
never was any money, I don't think. I think they used
Right.
all their money buying the property. Now it's like, now what?
Now the number of
And-
affordable housing units they want to put in there, when they calculated it out on the average per bedroom, that it could add up to 120 kids in the school system. So what benefit do you get out of people that are renting an apartment that maybe own one car? They're going to pay taxes on that car. That's all they're paying. And they're going to put 2 or 3 kids in the school. And if you saw 120 kids get dumped into the school system, that's what? 4 classrooms, 5 classrooms worth
Yeah.
of kids?
Not to mention emergency service.
Yeah.
But if you
Burden.
actually open this facility, that they were
Transportation.
talking about,
Everything is burdened
Yeah.
at that
yeah.
point.
But if it was, they actually opened the memory care facility that they're talking about,
Yeah.
or they were going to have a care center, that's going to create jobs
Sure.
and things like that. They are, but people who are in the
That's a
healthcare
different
field,
ball game. That's a different ball game.
That would be great if
And
that
those
was
are great
actually
buzzwords.
happening.
Those are great buzzwords when they
absolutely.
were coming into town,
Yeah.
or you would say, "We want to do this. We want to do
It
this.
was
Let's
like
get a
everybody's
following,
like,
a
yeah,
backing."
Go with it.
Yeah,
right?
and it's like, so there
What
was a
happened?
priest, a rabbi, and you know,
So
that's
they had
what
a
they're doing now.
they had a
They're
meeting a
shuffling.
month or so ago, right? Presentation, and it was a lot of people in there. I'd probably say about 40, 50 people in there, and they were asking a lot of questions without a lot of answers. They did not become prepared really to answer a lot of these questions. And a lot of it was concerns about how is this going to benefit the town.
Right.
And we got a lot of hash slinging about this and that and all this other stuff, right?
Especially when they're seeking
Right.
things
And they're
from the town instead of
right.
Millions
They're
of
looking for
dollars.
state and
Providing a
local
benefit.
funding and federal funding.
And
Millions
then,
of
and they said
dollars.
that so much, right?
Yeah.
And then they started talking about, well, what's taxable, what's not taxable, and what's they use terms like restricted, unrestricted, and that had to do with some of the housing that they were putting in there.
I think their business model has changed because they don't have any investors and they're looking for another way to get money. And now they
Yeah.
have to look towards grants. So now they have to change their business model altogether.
Yep.
Hello, YMCA.
Yeah. So
You
to
know,
get the grants, you got to be putting certain things in
Right.
to satisfy the grant, which isn't going to benefit the town. Really.
Which is not really their business model has changed from, complete 360. Or you have some.
Well, the YMCA project that originally was, if you're looking at that property, was the daycare center. That was definitely going in.
Yep.
The next building for the YMCA, which would be where you would have weights and exercise classes,
yeah.
the gym, that kind of stuff. That was kind of like, we'll deal with that later. And then the pool portion of it turned into, maybe you could get other towns to sign on with you and come up with the money to build that yourselves. So there's technically really no YMCA presence going to be there, because the building with the exercise and all that stuff, they actually talked about, Ryan from the Parks and Rec and all that stuff having some interest in going in there. And it's like, wait a minute, time out. You're going to take them out of where they are, put them in a building that you want to charge them rent on because we don't own it.
Yeah.
You know,
And they're in a building that the town owns.
That the town
So
owns
why would
right
they
now.
want to?
Yeah, I know where they are.
So,
yeah.
and it's like, and this building's not even being built. I mean, there's drawings of it, but it's not built. It's not built. The daycare is going to be built. That's the only portion of it. And it really, I don't even know if that's affiliated with the YMCA.
And they know in their studies that daycare facilities are tough to come by,
Yep.
right?
Well, look at your granddaughters. You pull them out where they are, they're not going back.
Right.
There's somebody taking that seat.
Right.
You betcha.
So
Yeah.
it's so
And
that's
it's big
that'll
money.
attract interest right off the get go,
hmm
right?
If it's quality.
Right. So, in the affordable housing, which is a big state, deal, right? They want to have more affordable housing.
10%, right?
And we're about 7 or something like that last week we knew. But the thing is we don't have the land like some of our neighbors have. Like Plainfield's got a lot of land. They can put a lot of businesses in, or some of these nonprofits in, stuff like that. We don't have that
No. You don't want to
availability.
size that property and not make money.
What's the size of that property roughly?
Too big. Too much.
Really?
No,
So-
not really. It's just they haven't done anything with it. It could be a parking lot. They haven't done nothing with it.
Right.
There's
just
not
kinda
a shovel in
curious
the
to-
ground.
Kind
I
of curious
don't-
to
I don't
see
know.
how
8
else
years.
it would have been
Plus.
I don't know
maybe
how-
used by somebody else who would want
I
it.
don't know how big
You
that
know?
property
Well,
is.
the other thing is we got the money. We're putting the pipes in, expecting to have that done. The goal was the end of this year. It might move into early spring or something like that. But the other part of it is running the power. Now, we heard last night that we have like $700,000-800,000 set aside for that. But I guess EverSource gave them a bill of $2 million to run the 3-phase power down there.
Yep.
So
With a-
that's
with a
another chunk of change that we got to come
$25,000
up
check
with,
up front
figure
to
out how
get
we're going
the
to.
design going on.
So let's put it this way:
It's like
If
a
the infra-
360, Mike, like you said, though, in terms of the business.
their business model
The
is
business
totally flip
model
flop.
went from
Listen, if
a
the developer comes
for-profit
into town and wants
kind
to
of
build
thing,
a
and now it's
project,
turned around to be
Something different.
something
if the
entirely
developer
different.
wants to build a project like that, that electric part should all be on them. They need that power. The town doesn't need that power. They need it.
It should be shared. If they're that interested, they should be sharing in some of this cost.
Yes.
The way I look at
Absolutely.
But they don't have any money.
It's been 8 years. They ain't sharing shit, Wayne.
No.
it. My mistake.
They are not sharing anything.
Wow.
That's what I mean. That's why I said they keep changing their business model depending on what funds could possibly be available.
Right.
It's not. It may not be the best for the town or whatever. So here's what I say: infrastructure goes in. It's in there, ready to go. Put a shovel in the ground, get going, or sell the land and leave.
That's it.
Yeah, they need some accountability for what what kind of progress they're making going forward after 8 years, and
Yeah.
all these other things are happening infrastructure wise. The town is securing.
They're holding us hostage.
Well,
Yes.
the other part of this now is
Yes.
this was voted
Without
on
accountability.
5 years ago to do this infrastructure project, right? You know,
No, I'm
and-
talking about this overall problem.
I'm talking about that, but all the costs have gone up.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
we're
yeah.
talking about the power,
Sure.
the
Can't do much
bonding.
about that.
No, we can't do much about it. But, you know, a lot of the costs are causing us to go after bonding, going after grants and all that stuff. It's costing town more money. As a matter of fact, we were supposed to do the 201 project along with it.
Right.
So
That's
we
scrapped.
canceled that for
got
now.
scrapped, Yep.
To just to focus on 164. So, you know, when 5 years ago would have cost us maybe $500,000 for the power, now it's $2 million,
Roughly. Yeah.
right?
Which is symptomatic of what's going on everywhere.
So I don't know where we're going to get the
Cost of
$1.2
everything.
million for this to run this power, but I agree with Rich. It should not be eaten up by the town.
And you know what? I mean, and honestly, accountability, I agree. You know, I know the town wants this. They want to do it. And okay, fine. And you know, it'd be great to have. But at some point, you got to say, all right, this is going on how long now?
Yeah.
Right.
They still don't have any money. I would say at this point. And I don't hold any water in this at all,
Yeah, right.
obviously.
Nope.
You know,
But if the infrastructure goes in, like it is, and they still do nothing
Yeah.
within 6 months of that,
Yeah.
goodbye.
Yeah.
Move on.
and that's fine because that infrastructure that's going in right now essentially costs the town nothing. But having come from a utility company, that they would run power to a project like that if it was going to be like a huge manufacturing company, and the
Sure.
return on that was
Right.
going to be
good business.
almost instantly,
Or a
right?
giant
So they would
distribution center or
spend that
something
$2
like
million gladly. They did
Let's
it.
put in a solar farm.
Like a data center.
Oh,
Exactly right.
Like a data
Oh,
center. It sucks
they
up
would-
power right and
they
left.
would-
I live in the Waterford, New London area, and
Yeah.
there's no data center signs everywhere.
Why?
Over that way?
Why?
They're on people's lawns all
It
over the
makes
place.
0 sense.
Pure profit.
Yeah.
No burden.
Payment in lieu of taxes,
Yep.
a pilot program. Just
Yep.
do it. You're not going to even know they're there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Number one, they don't make any noise.
Nope.
They're not toxic.
And they were going to pay for the infrastructure.
And they're going to pay for the infrastructure.
Isn't it funny how people will think differently from one town to another? Like in this town, we would maybe say, "Wow, great!"
There
And
is-
then
They want to give away the
I don't,
Why are they
so
saying-
I worked at Millstone and I know all about the data center that they
Mhm.
want to put on their property and stuff like that. I don't know why they're having such an issue with that, with the taxes that would be coming in.
I was
you
really
know?
surprised to see that backlash like
Yeah.
that.
I don't know why.
What are their reasons?
I don't know why.
Because we did all the research.
Right.
We did all the research. Paul Ash
Yeah.
called town after town after town that had data centers. What data center?
What data
Oh,
center? Oh, the noisy
oh
thing
yeah.
sitting
They
over
talked
there?
to their town hall. Yeah, right. Yeah, there's no noise.
No.
What? What are you talking about? Yeah. What do we hear? Well, it's gonna be too noisy up here in Griswold.
Just that constant humming all the time, and
I don't want to hear that.
Just a building. It just sits there.
That's it.
Once in a while, you might hear the diesel run for maintenance. Or
We
something
don't
like
want to. We don't want to create.
But you don't
50,
even hear
60
it.
Jobs.
Those diesels are so quiet.
that.
You
And
don't
those
even hear
diesels
them.
are in a house or a house, and you hardly
Yep.
even hear them.
You don't even hear them.
But we want a phantom corporation company
Yep.
Yeah.
complex to come in.
They
I
can't.
don't know why.
They can't afford to buy a cup of coffee for crying out loud, but yep, they're gonna save the town.
I just don't understand why
Yeah.
a company or a town isn't going. Come here, data center. Come here.
Well,
Come back to Griswold.
listen,
Come back.
In all fairness, that was the last administration.
Yes.
That was on them, and I've heard the stories about not answering the phone, not returning phone calls.
Yeah, it wasn't this administration.
No,
it was
not.
it was
It
the
was
one
not.
before.
Yep.
Tina's doing a wonderful job.
And
She's moving things along. I mean, she isn't. She inherited a horse
Oh yeah,
Yep.
bucket of cow shit. How's that?
A big pile. Yep.
Yeah.
A big
all
pile.
three of them did. So
Yeah.
I don't
Our
know
current
the
board is
history,
really-
and maybe all of you know it better than I do. I don't know how the Amazon distribution center came to end up in Plainfield like it did, which seems like a wonderful thing for Plainfield.
Oh yeah.
I would think from like a tax-based standpoint and everything.
yeah,
And they're paying it. They're paying
They're
It'd
taxes.
be like win-win over there.
paying over
paying-
$400,000 a year or something like that for the property.
Yep.
I mean, that was a good footprint if you think.
Now
about
they
it.
got
It used to be
now
the
they-
dog track.
Now they
There's a lot
got
of
U
room.
line coming.
Now they got
in. They're
U-Line
gonna
in
build
there. Yeah, U-Line in there,
1.25 million square foot building up there for U line now.
And they've already got a distribution center
Sure.
over there in
Yeah.
that town as well.
Oh,
And-
Yeah.
Or is it Lowe's? One of those.
Lowe's are Staples.
Yeah.
They got Lowe's.
Yeah.
No, they got Lowe's. I
Lowe's.
believe.
But here's Griswold, and
Actually, Staples might be down there too.
could be Staples is definitely in
Staples in Warwick, the old American Standard building.
what do you call it? Attawaggan and Killingly.
Oh, the Twin Cities of Attawaggan and Belleville.
Yeah,
Love it.
Belleville.
They're
Yeah.
right over there. But you would think that, if there's a parcel of land that's good size enough to do the types of things that they're talking about,
Sure.
it could certainly
Yeah.
serve another type of business or whatever it may be. Maybe not a distribution center the size of an Amazon one or something like that, but still something that would be profitable, mutually profitable, good for the town, provide,
Right.
a tax base
And not
There's
cost
been a
the
lot
town-
of pushback on keeping Griswold
and not-
quiet.
and
That's
not
why
costing
we're
the town
trying
buckets full of money to do it.
to keep it along a 395 corridor.
Sure.
Right, not going.
And I
outside of
really
that.
do believe that the current board of selectmen are really trying. They're like trying to perform reconnaissance missions to try to
I think
fix
so.
what everything that got screwed up. in the last
So,
couple of years.
so I will tell you. Also, discuss the EDC that since the pipe's going in the ground, I see movement. They're starting to get some calls about some of the property.
Good.
So,
See, there you go.
Right.
We talked about it. I said as soon as
Yep.
that shit starts going in,
Yep.
dominoes.
It's this yeah, it's going on. Yep.
And when that happens, you know what's going to happen, I believe? Oh, Heritage River, you have the... Oh, we need that. Our company, we need that. So we'd like to buy that from you.
And when the infrastructure is only stubbed in off the street, it's a blank piece of paper at that point. You can do
Yeah.
whatever you want down there.
yeah.
Anyway, so
Wow.
you see what I'm saying?
See, the
I mean,
things, like, I leave town and look what it just completely goes.
we all screw up. Steve,
Unbelievable.
come back, Steve. Come back.
I've been going since, what year did I leave Wood City? I was living on South Main Street till about 2013. So I was in town.
Oh, so you heard that
Yeah,
one.
I
didn't
was,
think
I
you
was
heard
still
that
in
one.
town at that point before I went to Norwich. I was in Norwich for 9 years. But I was in
Why did I
town
think
for
you
a
were in
while.
Shelton?
Huh?
Why did I think you were in Shelton?
My kids were. My kids grew up there.
Gotcha.
Wouldn't that be interesting, though, if you get the infrastructure in the ground up there, water and sewer, and all of a sudden, boom, a for sale sign goes in on the property.
Mm.
And it's like, yeah, we
It was
just
all
don't-
a ruse, man.
Yeah, we just don't really have the money, but we've got somebody that's willing to pay us a whole lot more than what we pay for that property.
Sure. Then they can go to another town and do the same shit.
Mm. So it's almost like, it's like an expeditionary thing. Like,
Yeah.
man, let's see what we can get.
I'm not saying these.
See what we can flip
Not saying
this
that's
land
gonna
for,
happen, but-
No, but I'm
Whatever.
not saying these people didn't try.
right.
But I don't think they want to give up the ghost either. So
Might be better for Griswold if they did sell it.
I think so.
I
Yeah.
think you're
Because
right.
I
somebody
think
could
so.
come
At
in
this-
and
at this
willing to
point-
develop
At this
it.
point, I think you're
Yeah.
correct.
It's been almost a decade.
Yeah,
I think
that's
you're
true.
you're absolutely
We've been
It's a
caressing the
better
cow
part of
for
10
over
years.
almost a decade. It's time to.
Yeah.
So one more thing I want to bring up before we say goodbye, and this has got nothing to do with anything, but I just think this is weird.
Okay.
Well, maybe
I like
it does
weird.
have some.
Weird's fun.
This is, to me, this one is very weird. Is that personally, I don't care what anybody feels about their politics. I don't care what you three, who you support, who you don't support. Don't care. That's your own thing. Just like religion. I don't care.
Mhm.
What you guys do. Those are on you. They're your own personal beliefs and thoughts.
Of course.
And I'm not going to tell you you're wrong, because why would I tell anybody they're wrong about their own personal thoughts? What I don't like is when people start telling me I'm wrong for the way I think. You can disagree, but don't tell me I'm wrong for what I think. So here's the thing. How many times in the last few days have you seen pictures on the internet with Donald Trump having the hand of God behind him on his chest like he is now a deity? How many of the you haven't?
No, I've just seen the iconic photo there with him standing up after being shot at. That's it. I haven't seen the other stuff.
Yeah, you want to make a mug with fight.
Right, but what I'm saying is I'm seeing Trump like this and God with their all over the place.
Almost like the invincibility thing. Like, you can't take me down.
Yeah.
You can't kill me.
Didn't see that shit with Reagan anywhere in the paper.
No.
Yeah.
But you see it with Trump. Is this a little weird?
First, they tried to put me in jail. Now they're trying to kill me.
Yeah.
There's that they're doing this to me, whoever they are.
Right.
There's this kind of
It's the deep state. You know, that's
right.
It's biblical almost.
Right. It's almost like, I mean, he is.
Noah's coming again with the ark.
He's Teflon Don. Like, he really is untouchable.
Is it the Antichrist?
Yeah, let's go. Nostradamus. Like, did he have orange hair? Can we look that up in the prophecies?
Are you a time traveler, Don? You're a time traveler, Mr.
But
Trump.
no, there is a certain sense of.
It's weird. I just think it's a little strange.
It is a little weird, and I think it's he can use anything to promote himself.
Exactly.
And he wouldn't fall short of using this to promote himself further. But that's an interest. I have not seen those yet, Mike, but I do get a sense of what people almost like, he's not going away.
Yeah.
He's not going away. Nobody can take him down.
Nope.
He's untouchable. That's weird. I haven't seen those yet. Now I'll start looking.
I have no.
You've seen them?
I don't know who's
I
posting
haven't
these
seen
things.
anything
I
like
mean,
that.
just a bunch of people.
Huh?
Who's
No,
really
I
posting
think
these
it's
things?
like
Just a bunch of
those
memes,
satire websites, or
yeah.
something like that. You know, I don't think it's people making them.
No, I have no problem. I just think the whole thing
odd.
is. Rachel just said, I think it's strange that people are putting him as a deity. And they almost are. So.
No, that's.
Well, no. Have you seen all the pictures? So
He was
I don't
lucky.
know. I think it's going to be interesting.
He was more lucky than a deity. Anything else?
Yeah, that was pretty lucky.
He was pretty lucky.
Imagine that if you moved just a millimeter.
Did you see the Secret Service people who were trying to get him to the?
He wants to stay there.
The excursion or the expedition, and he keeps popping up, and he's doing the fight,
Yeah.
and they're probably like, "Don, we gotta go. We gotta go, Don." Like,
Well, somebody brought
he
up a
was
good.
using it as he was like soapboxing, even when
Well,
he's getting
even
shot
so,
at.
he was a
You
foot
know?
taller than one of the Secret Service agents. He was standing in front of him. It
Well,
was
Donald
like,
Trump's very tall.
you know.
6'5",
They had a heck of a
6'4".
time getting him off.
But
on
most
that day.
Secret Service agents are pretty tall enough to cover a guy when they got to walk
Yeah.
him out, right? And
It was
you know, we don't have to
surreal.
get into
The whole
this,
thing
but
was
you know,
surreal.
there's
He
more
towered-
coming out about
he
this. You
towered
know,
over them, yeah.
this guy is like on a flat white roof with a rifle,
And nobody
130
saw.
yards. We got
Nobody
drones
saw.
flying all over the place. Even kids have drones flying all over the place on looking at rooftops and stuff like that. And we don't have that.
Well, that was a slope roof. We couldn't put people up
Oh,
there.
slope my ass.
They had to
But,
protect that. They had to
you
cover
know,
that
they-
building from
I
inside.
felt like it took him like 5 minutes to get him. Like when they got Reagan out of that scene when he got shot, they got him into the limo and he was gone like in seconds.
Seconds.
Yeah.
Trump didn't want to go.
Right, and of course he didn't. He didn't want.
He said he got
didn't wanna
tackled.
go.
He got tackled so hard they knocked him out of his shoes.
Out of his shoes. They had to go back
And he
get
had
his
to go get
shoes.
his shoes on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
But like again, he was telling him, "Hold on. I want to let everybody know I'm okay."
Yep.
Pretty much, you know. So but that's the way he is, I guess.
He's
but
got
the thing is,
he's got balls.
yes, he does. You know, he's been attacked for the last 8 years or so. You know, and he's got a lot of good lawyers. And
I've seen a lot of different crazy memes, but I haven't seen any of them
I
yet,
haven't
Mike.
seen that, but
It's pretty crazy stuff,
I
man.
do
Telling
pick
ya.
up on that sense, the invincibility sense.
Yeah, I
Like,
haven't seen it
Yeah.
he's not. I'm not going away.
All right, that's going to do it for us, guys. Thank you very much for coming on in this
Yep.
morning. Psychic Thursday will return once again next Thursday, just because
Any predictions?
they couldn't. I'm predicting they'll be back.
Oh,
How about
yeah.
you?
my tarot card here, George says, yes, they'll be back.
Nice.
From the Swami himself.
The Swami Malin. Steve, thank you as always. Class 101.
Thank you for having me on.
Class
I
101.
appreciate it.
S. Craig at class101.com.
That is me.
S.
Yes.
Craig.
That's just
So it's
one way to get in touch with me.
Scraig.
One of many.
SCRAIG at class101.com. Or if you didn't hear what I said here or don't remember, well, you can rewind it, first of all. Or you can just shoot me a message too, and I'll get it to you. So, all right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.